Now let's move on with understanding how to perform group by operation using Power Query Editor. And also we will take a look at what is fuzzy grouping. Fuzzy grouping is specific to Power Query Editor in Power BI. But group by is very common. Even in the SQL query, we use the group by. So now the question is, what exactly group by? What am I going to do with group by? In simple term, using group by, we can present the data in summarized form. Right? So groups rows that have same values to get the summary data. Basically, groups the rows that have the same values. Okay. You can choose from two types of grouping operations when it comes to Power Query Editor. You can aggregate a column by using an aggregate function. So what is the aggregate function? Example for aggregate function is sum function, average function, min function, max function. These are the aggregate function or summary function. You can aggregate a column. You can summarize a column. Sum of sales amount, average of sales amount, sum of units sold. And we have count function is also available. That is also another example for the aggregate function. When you use count on the order ID or something, it gives you the number of orders that we received so far. Okay, and also we have something like distinct count. With that, you can find out the unique number of orders that we received it so far. And the next one is the perform a row operation. This is very specific to Power Query Editor. We'll explore these two options in a little later. Don't worry. Before that, let us understand in detail what exactly aggregation is all about, because I have a mix of people here. Any of a couple of other people that did not join, they are going to watch this video in the interest of all, right? I'm going to explain what exactly aggregation, how it works. Look here on the left side, we have this data set. Country, region, quantity, sales. Your manager want a report. See, let's say your manager is given you this data set, okay, and he wants you to produce a output, something like that. He doesn't want to see the transaction level data. He wanted to see the summary data. Here, if you see how many countries are there, United States, Australia, Germany, New Zealand. Only 4 countries are there, right? 4 any countries are there. But each country at different point in time, with the different region, the sales happen at different point in time. End of the day, he doesn't want to see the itemized or the transaction level detail. Instead, he wants to see the summary. So he wants to understand in Australia, in total, how much sales we made, and and how many units we sold in total. Don't tell me, each and every day how much sales we made in Australia. I'm not interested. Instead, give me the summary or aggregated values for the sales and the units sold. This is what the output he needed. So in this case, what happens? A group by function, it groups the rows that have the same values. So what will happen? All the United States related rows will get grouped, which means it got separated. And then what will happen is it will apply the sum function on top of the grouped United States countries sales column. So in that case, 7623 plus 8764 plus 4251 plus 2500. These 4 values will get sum for these grouped the country. And the next one, it will go to the Australia. And Australia, or Germany, right? Germany, we have only 2 records. These 2 rows have the same values. It groups these 2 things, and it applies the sum function on these 2 values. Similarly, Australia, and similarly New Zealand, and so on. Got it? Fine. Okay, so let's say you have understood the requirement, and then you are okay with creating this report by using group by operation. Okay, so in this case, you are doing a group by on country column, because he is very particular about the group by on country. You are able to understand this requirement. Okay, the next one is he says, okay, not only this, I need a report. I need an additional report wherein I need the aggregated values, the sales value by region, by country. I need it. Again, the quantity. So in this case, what happens is he is expecting you to do the group by on, sorry, group by on these two columns, country and the region. With the combination of these two columns, he expect you to do the group by. So in that case, what happens is, in United States and region, the country and region, if you see in United States, we have two region related, the South region, we could see two records are there. South region, in United States, we can see two records. You want this one to be aggregated. So end of the day, you want only one record, like United States South, and add these two values and add these two values. So that is what we can see here. United States South region, if you see here, 5 plus 5 is 10, and these two values we added, you will get 13,000. The combination of these two columns, group by. Initially, we have used only one column in the group by country here, but in this case, he wants us to do a group by on these two columns and then apply the sum function. So in this case, what happens? It groups the rows that have same values with the combination of these two. So these two records, first let's start with United States. United States, right? These two rows have same values, hence this one will get grouped, and then it applies the sum and it gives you, the single aggregated value here. But again, if you look at here, the other United States West, we don't have any other record for West here. The combination of United States West, we don't have it. So hence simply it puts this value here. And similarly, United States East also, we don't have more than one record. But whereas in the case of Germany East is, right, these two rows are having the same values with the combination of country and region. So what happens, it does the group by here. So look here, if you see the Germany here, the East 80, these two values will get summed, and these two values will get summed. Hope you understood the difference between these two. So in this case, group by, you have to do it only on the country column, whereas in this case, to generate this report, you need to use the group by on these two columns, the combination of these two columns, and then you need to apply the sum. Here, just you do a group by on country column, and then you apply the sum. But here, the combination of these two columns, you need to use it. Okay, fine. The next one is the next one is the fuzzy grouping. Okay, the fuzzy grouping. So this feature is available only in your Power BI Cloud Service. That we will see it little later. We'll start with Power Core Editor in the Power BI desktop, and using which we will perform the group by. Okay. So what I do is I just go here and I just use this sales W04 dataset. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the transform ribbon, and here you will find the group by here. On the extreme left, you'll find the group by here. Sorry, it's not working with this. Here you will find the group by. Okay, I just click on the group by here. And here, what happens is you can see you have two options here, the basic and advanced. By default, the basic is selected, and here you can click on this the drop down thing here, drop down list. And if you scroll down here, for example, I just wanted to do the aggregation on the category column, and the column name is the total sales, category wise total sales. I just want to see it. And then here the operation is count rows, and the aggregation function, sum function, average function, median, min, max. Count rows also, you might be knowing it, count distinct rows, all rows. You may not be familiar with these three. Don't worry, we'll explain it. To start with that, we will use a simple thing, the commonly used sum function. And then what I'm going, the column is sum on sales. Okay. Here, if I ask you, or if you ask me to write a SQL statement similar to this, what I will write is select sum of sales from the table sales W04, group by category. That's all. Anyhow, don't worry, I will write it. See, I just write it here itself. I think it should work here. Select sum of sales from sales, the SQL equivalent. Okay. And here what I do is simply I use group by category column. So this is the one we want to do it in our Power Query Editor. Okay. So that is what we are doing. So in this case, we might be asking, what is this total sales? So what we do is, even in the case of the typical SQL, what we do is here we use the alias name instead of sum of sales, right? As total sales, something like that. Okay. So we'll give some meaningful name for this column. Instead of saying sum of sales, total sales, something like that. As something like that we'll give. Anyhow, that we will discuss it later. At this moment, let's see what happens now here. Sum of sales, group by category. For the sum sales, this is the name we are giving it for that column. I just click on OK. Let's see what happens now. Total sales error. Oh my God. So what is happening here? I just go to the, so there is something wrong with the data type here. So ideally we should have fixed it here. And what I'm going to do is I just click on the source here and then see, are there any problem with this or not? This one, yeah, change the type. And I have used this one. 1 second here. Look here, the sales is ABC here. What I do is I just click it somewhere here and then I just go and change it to the decimal data type. So here some dollar is there and I just replace a dollar by some blank values. Look here, it is asking, you want to insert a step? Yes. And what I do is here, I just say wherever the dollar is there, you make it, blank value. I mean, replace with empty string. And then what I do is I just click on it. And then, so look here, I have NA here is there. And I'm going to replace the NAs by 0. Otherwise, this one will cause another problem. So NA, I just replace it with 0 for the time being. Still, it remains as a text data type. I just click on it. Data type, fine. Look here, now it gives me everything. So after I change the data type, right? So now it shows the total sales by category. It gives me the split up of the sales by category. In each category, how much sales we made it in total. Okay, now the question is, I wanted to see the total units sold along with the total sales. What can I do? So again, can I go to the transform and click on group by? You don't have to do it in the same view itself. We can include it. How I can do that? Just go to the right side, just beneath the applied steps. The last step was the group rows. Next to that, you have the wheel icon. Okay, so click on this wheel icon. It will take you to your previous group by window. And here what I do is, I'm going to click on the advanced option now. Here I'm going to click on add aggregation, total units sold. Here I just say total units sold. And then here I'm going to use sum and here the quantity. Click on OK. Able to understand? Right? So you can modify the group by also. Okay, you don't have to create multiple group by. With the same group by itself, if you want to make some modifications, you can go back to this step. Next to this step, you will find the pinion wheel, the wheel. When you click on the wheel icon, it will take you back to your group by window. There you can click on the advanced option and then you can do it. So now he is fine with this, but again he is saying that is it possible for you to give me the segment wise? Is it possible to do a group by on technology and segment with the combination of these two columns? Can I do that? Yes. So again, I just click on this one. And then what I do is add grouping. here I clicked on the advanced option here, and then I clicked on the add aggregation. A new field got created. Here I created earlier, right, for the quantity. Now I'm going to add another grouping here, group by category and segment. Okay, I just click on OK. We have 3 categories, and each category we have 3 segments. Okay, here if you see here, the technology. Okay, what I do is I just want to sort it in some order here. I just click on it here, and then what I do is sort. Okay, I sorted in ascending order. Furniture, and then office supplies, technology. So here it gives me the total sales, and okay. Furniture, I can see the in this I don't see any segment here. And the technology also, I don't see any segment here. And furniture and technology, office supplies. Office supplies in all the 3 segment, we made sales here as far as this data set is concerned. So with this, what we can understand is in the furniture category, consumer segment, this is the total sales made, and this is the unit sold. And in this case, furniture, the segment is blank. There is some blank value is there, right? Instead of segment, right, some blank value is there. That's the reason why, for the blank value, something is there. So that's the reason why we need to address the data related issues, right? You need to go and check any blank values are there in the segment column for the corresponding category and all. Okay, there are some blank values there. So I will leave it as it is for you guys to find out and come up with, why, it is giving blank value. For the time being, I just uncheck the blank and I click on it here. Now it looks pretty decent, right? We don't want to take into account of the blank records. That needs investigation. Fine. So excluding the blank, we get some fair amount of it in each segment, right? So in each category, all the 3 segment we have the values here, total sales and units sold, we can see that. So furniture and in the case of furniture category, under consumer segment, how much sales we made. In the case of furniture category, under corporate category, how much sales we made, how many units sold, how many units we sold. So in this case, we have used 2 columns, category and segment in group by. Okay, that is what we did it. The next one is, so he wants to see, okay, now what I do is, I just duplicate this one. Look here, I just selected this query, right click on it, duplicate. I don't want to disturb that one because I want to refer it back again. Look here, sales W0402, let it be there. Here what I do is, I just select the duplicated one. And here what I am going to do, I'm going to remove this segment now. Filter rows, rename the columns. Okay, and the group rows, right? I just go here, retry. Okay, here what I do is I just click on this one, delete it. I just went back to this one, category, total sales, total units. So you might be asking this one, okay, here, we cannot go back to the previous step. So in the same step itself, it applied so many things. That's the reason why I just, clicked on this wheel and then I deleted it. Got it? Fine. So now I wanted to understand in the technology category, right? So I wanted to see what makes up this total sales. I wanted to see the itemized transaction level data for this one, the granular detail. I want to see it. Is it possible to see that? Yes. That is where you have something else called, look here, add aggregation. Here you have something called table, all rows. You have something all rows. All rows. Let's see what happens all rows when I click on it. It creates a new column, because in this case I've given the new column as granular detail. Fine. I have used all rows. Since I used all rows, you can see something like table here. Okay, in this line, the technology, next to the table, if I click on it here, see, I just clicked on it here, not on the table. Okay, here I clicked on it. At the bottom, you can see the transaction level detail. In technology, look here, if you see the category here, look here, if you see the category here, you just filtered only the technology related transaction. It shows all the things here. And if you want to do something like, okay, in this one, you can do something like, you can filter it here. Ideally, they could have given some option here. Who? The Microsoft. Like sorting here. It is not available here. Look here. See here, what I wanted to see is in the technology category and itemized detail, I want to say, but I want to sort it in descending order so that top selling products within this technology, I should be able to see. That option is not available here. Ideally, they should have given here. But what they do is when you click on this double arrow here, this entire table will be made as part of this one. Okay, I'll just show you that one also. Next, I just click next to the furniture table. Okay, so that all the furniture related transaction it shows us here. Probably we can note down this option. We can tell them. We can suggest Microsoft. Look here, in this case, 3,709. And these are the transactions happen, right? So in the furniture. And ideally here also they can give some kind of right filtering option, right? The drop down. Right? You can see it. Similarly, you can click on it here. You can see the detailed record. So with the help of all rows, you will get to know the granular values for each aggregated values, right? This is my aggregated value for this category. If you want to see the granular detail or the transaction level detail for the office supplies alone, just keep it next to this one. Or if you think, no, I want, why should I see it here, right? Instead, I want this table to be made as part of this one itself. You just click on this double arrow here, and then you can see all the columns, whichever columns that you wanted, you can use it here. I don't want all the columns, right? So what I do is I just simply unselect it. And what I need is, I need to see the sales and quantity, right? Sales and quantity. And probably I wanted to see the category. And that's all, because category in detail, right? We want to see, and the product name. And if you click on it, it will ask you the insert rows. Fine. So this one get expanded now. This is called an expanded table. Now it got expanded. Fine. So you can see the technology. In the technology category, you can see that these are the products are available. Now we can do the sorting everything. Okay, here if you go here, and you can go here and you can do sort descending, you can do it here. So you can see that the 22,000 in the technology, Cisco telepresence, and probably the Cisco related products, right? Or the top 5, you can see the, no, Cisco and Canon is there. Cisco and Canon products, we made top 5 sales in this product under technology. And similarly for the other categories, you can say. So along with this, you can see this value, the summarized value will get repeated, right? It will get repeated, and office supplies got repeated. Wherever the office supplies, the detailed record is there, right? For that, it shows the corresponding summarized value here. So with this itself, we can understand the top 5 selling products under each category, and also you can check the total sales for each category side by side. Got it? You understood, right? With the help of the all rows, we are able to find out the transaction level data for each aggregated records. or each aggregated values, right? Fine. So this is what called as all rows. This is very specific to Power BI, Power Query Editor. Okay. Okay, the next one is, okay, now you understood how it works. Look here, if I click on, it says W04, I just use category, segment, and total sales, whereas here I just used, for the sake of simplicity, I just use the category only here. Sorry, I need to go back here, group rows, look here, and expanded granular data. Okay, so this is the one we could see it. And then what other options are available here? Yeah, so what we will do is, I just go back to the sales W04. And here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on the grouped rows here again. I'm going to click on the add aggregation, total number of, or I'm going to say total number of transaction. So here we have something called the count rows is there, right? Here, whenever you use the count rows and a total number of records, in that case, you don't have to use a column here. Click on OK here. So it gives me an idea about in the technology category under segment consumer, how many number of orders we received it. This is count rows. Now let us explore the count distinct. I just say total number of spelling mistake here. Transactions. Distinct number of total distinct number of transactions. Here I am going to say count distinct rows. Click on OK. 4150. Okay, 4150. 2 to 4. You remember the difference between distinct and unique we discussed as part of data profiling, right? If you remember, the same thing is applicable here. The 41502. Here it is more or less same, right? So except this one, 4150. And ideally, if you use it on the order number, it will make sense, because each order, see, listen, each order, the customer would have purchased one or more than one product. Let's say a customer has purchased more than one product. Let's say 4 products on an average each customer they purchased. In that case, what will happen is the order number will be displayed 4 times, right? So, and when you take the total number of orders that we received it, so what will happen is, since each order on an average they purchase four products, so 4 into that many number of records will get showed as the total number of transactions. Actually, that is wrong. In that kind of situation, when you use the distinct rows on the invoice number column, it gives you the unique values, right? The distinct records. That kind of solution it will show. Fine. So now you understood, apart from sum and count rows and count distinct rows also you understood. That is also possible with this one. So now I'm going to click on close and apply. The next step, what I'm going to do is I just go to the Power BI Cloud Service, app.powerbi.com. Okay, this is what my Power BI Cloud. Here, what I do is I just click on the create. This is the one. Look here. Here, this is what my workspace. I just go to some workspace, big box. Workspace is something like a folder name. Okay, on cloud. So here I created something like this. Now what I do is I just click on the new here, and then you need to click on the data flow. Okay, I just repeat it one more time. Look here, app.powerbi.com cloud survey. See, every month they are deducting money from my credit card. Okay, so now my expiry, the trial version got expired. I'm using my credit card every month. They are deducting money from my credit card, and in this case, I have 58 days. I can use this one. So once you get into the Power BI Cloud Service, on the left side, 1 second, if I click on this one, right? When you click on these 3 lines, it will get expanded on the left side. Okay. And then if you scroll down here, you will find something called workspaces. Anyhow, I'll explain this in detail, the Power BI Cloud later point in time. So in the workspace, next to that, if you click on this one, you will have some option called create a workspace. Look here, I just click on it. So here you can specify the name of the workspace. When you click on it, save, what will happen is the workspace will get created. Since I already created many workspaces, I don't want to create, some more. And now you understood how to create a workspace. Workspace is something like a folder name. Okay. Supposing in your company, right, in your project, you are in your company or in your software company, 4 different modules you are working on it for the same customer: supply chain and costing, marketing, and sales department. Okay, so for each department, they create separate folders or workspaces. Anything related to supply chain, you are going to work on this. Anything related to sales analytics, you go and work on it. Anything related to finance, you are going to work on it, right? So logically, they would have created different workspaces. Each workspace is meant for different modules. Okay, so here I have created something like a big box. I just click on it. The workspace. Currently, I'm into the big box workspace, and here you will find new here. Next to that, you will find the down arrow. When you click on it, the drop down list will get displayed. Here you have various options: report, paginated report. What you want to create new? You want to create new report, paginated report, scorecard, dashboard, or data set? At this moment, I want to create a data flow. What is a data flow? Data flow is kind of ETL or the Power Query editor on cloud. Look here. When you click on transform it, I just discarded, some problem happened here. So when you click on the transform data here, right, so you know how to go to Power Query editor. Okay. And now instead of going to my Power BI desktop on the cloud, how I can use the Power Query editor, right? That is what was the workflow. Look here, I just click on the add new tables. Here, what happens, I have different data source options are. It is asking which data source are you going to. So I'm going to click on text CSV, where I need to specify the path name. So currently, guys, remember that I'm on cloud. Okay, and here that one, sales underscore W04 dot CSV file. This file is available in my local laptop, but we are working on cloud. From the cloud, if I wanted to read the file which is available in local folder, you need to you need to do some kind of configuration here. Okay, the path name in your laptop you need to give, and then the new connection. Look here, the new connection here. Okay, I just click on here. So I created a data gateway already. So what is a data gateway? Look here, in your laptop, right? If you want the Power BI Cloud Service to read the data from your local desktop, the data gateway should run in your local desktop. The data gateway is the agent. That is the one helps you to push your report. When you publish the report, right, along with the report, the data will also get automatically published to the cloud because of the gateway. And at the same time, if you want to read any data from your local on-premise system to cloud, you need to have the data gateway installed on your system. Okay. See, otherwise, how will see, cloud is on cloud, right? This is a cloud. In the cloud, if you specify D colon dat one, how will it know in which laptop, which server it should go and this file is available, right? So for that, that is where the gateway is coming into picture. Since the gateway is running here, so what happens is it can come to your on-premises server with the help of the gateways. For the specific gateway, it will come here and then it will do the read the data. Now the question is, how can I install the gateway? Go to the google.com. So what I do is I'll just show you. Initially I told you how to download the Power BI desktop for Windows. The same place you can go there, download Power BI. If you go here on the right side, you will find something like this. Microsoft on-premises data gateway. Here, select the standard mode. Don't select personal mode. Okay, standard mode. Click on this, and then it'll get downloaded. Once it downloaded, you need to install it. The installation is pretty simple. Keep click on this exe file and keep keep hitting the next button. It will get installed. Okay. Okay, now the question is, okay, I know how to install it, where to download and how to install it. Okay, fine. So how do I know whether the gateway is running or not? So what you do is you go to your thing here, gateway. You just type gateway next to your start button, okay? And you just see on-premises data gateway, click on open. It will take some time to open it. Okay, so there you will find the status like it is running. Okay, that's all. You don't have to start running. It will be started automatically. Okay, once you install it, don't worry. Okay, so that's it, guys. So now the data gateway is running in my laptop. So hence what I do is in the Power BI Cloud Service, I just specify the data gateway name here. Okay, fine. The next one is the authentication kind window. Here's okay, let it be there. Here, what I do is the domain name is so 1 second, let me just check. Even I forget PC. I just right click on it and then click on the properties in the PC. Here you will find this is my the computer name, desktop, and the username is 1 second. Look here, so you want to allow this app to make changes to it? No, I don't want to install it. Already installed it. Okay, fine. Okay, and next what I do is I just go here and then I have two options here. Okay, only one option is available. Okay, fine. So what I do is here I just say instead I say localhost welcome, and then password. I'm using some password and I click on next. Let's see what happens. Look here, it got connected, right? So what happened? I just specified the gateway name. I selected it, and then I have specified my local Windows system name, followed by that I specify the username and then password. Okay. Look at the same data file got loaded here. And here I can see three buttons here. Cancel. Cancel is not helpful. Add table using examples. So I'm not going to use this at this moment. And click on transform data. The data, we can see that this is the thing, right? The Power the M language, M query got generated by default. Okay, so these are the column name, everything is there here. Okay, and if you go here, and we don't see the top rows, right? Here the blank value is there. Okay, let it be there. Now this is the Power Query editor. The Power Query editor on cloud, it is available here. Okay, and I just click on the transform here, and here you can see the group by option here. Here one option is missing. Oh yeah, the remove rows, right? Remove rows. Look, this is a remove top. It is available here. And I just want to remove the first row because the first row has blank record. I just removed it. Fine. The next one is I'm going to do the same transformation here. In the sales column, we know already we have some issue here. Just right click on it, and then you will have the replace values like a dollar. I'm going to replace with some blank value. Click on OK. And then replace NA by 0. Right click on it, and where is the replace values? Here NA by 0, all the thing, right? Whatever we did it, I'm going to do the same thing here. So you might be wondering, so whatever we can do here, we can do it on the Power Query editor on the Power BI cloud service. Then what is the difference? I'll show you when it comes to the query, right? So the group by option. So next one is the rest of them are fine. Next what I do is I just go to the transform ribbon. I click on it, and group by, I just select this here, and I'm going to select the same column, the category here. Category. I'm going to say I do the same thing. Okay, total sales, and here what I do is I just select something like sum of sales here. Okay, when I click on OK, there's spelling mistake. Okay, let it be there. Okay, in each category, how much sales we made. Okay, we are getting some error here. What is the error? I just fixed it, right? We cannot apply to type text. Okay, so why it still shows as text? My God, everything has gone here. Again, you need to add new tables. I did not save it. Anyhow, it is okay. You can see it one more time here. So D colon that one sales underscore W04 dot CSV. New connection. If you click on this, okay, you don't have to do it there, and here you can do it. And here what I do is local host. Click on next. I have to redo everything now. That sales column. Better we will use quantity column, okay, instead of wasting time doing the same thing. So what I do is I just click on the transform data, and here you have something called I'm doing the same thing. Okay, I just want to remove the first record because it's a blank record. The next one is I'll just click on the transform. I just click on the group by. Here what I do is I just select the category, because the sales has some dollar and all, right? I'm going to use the total units sold, the quantity column. And here what I do is I use sum function. And here I just use the quantity. And then I click on OK. Look here, you have something else called use fuzzy grouping. For that reason only I came here. Look at in each category, how much units we sold in total, right? Total units sold by category, we can see that. That's split up, you can see it. Fine. So now the question is, what is this one is all about? So what is so big deal about it? Okay, so now what I do is, okay, query settings. Okay, the total is okay. Here the group rows. I just click on the same thing. Okay, I just got it here. So here what happens is sometimes in your data set, you have category like a technology. I just show you here. Look here. Technology is there in the right. So wherever technology was there in your data set, all the technology related records got grouped, and then it applied the sum on the quantity, right? So how much? Supposing there are some cases, what happens in real time scenario, most of the cases you will encounter this issue. For example, typo issue, technology. Would have mentioned technology. Some user listen to technology. They bought some 200 rupees worth of product, and the same technology product, in some other time in the same day, let's say they bought it 1,500 worth of thing, and right. So multiple transactions. It will group all the things, and it will add these two quantities: 1,700 units. Technology 1,700 units. Fine. The challenge here is someone has typed something like that, technology. Let's say 2,500. In the case of Power BI desktop, in our local system, what will happen is in the group by, it will, it's a case sensitive. It will group these two records. It will consider these two as a same rows. It will consider this as a different group or different value. So in that case, what will happen is in the technology, right? It'll in the case of local Power BI desktop, Power Query Editor, what it does is it groups these, it considers these two are same, and it considers this one as a different thing. In that case, what will happen when you see the report, you'll find something like technology 1,700. And then what will happen is, you will find another category, technology. Even though this one also falls under this category, just because of the lower case you've given here, it will consider this a different thing altogether. When you look at the technology, right, so we will understand 1,700, actually 1,700 plus 2,500, that many number of units you sold, but it shows that you are underperforming it just because of these two different groups exist, right? Especially if you have 100 groups or there in your data set, what will happen is when you look at the top and mistakenly this one appears at the bottom, what you will think, right? Technology, we are not selling that good, but actually are selling good. Because of this lowercase, this one will get grouped separately, these two will get grouped separately. Right. So in that case, what you need is you need to go and open your data set, you see, and you need to use replace values wherever small technologies make it capital thing, right? Replace values. Assume that you are working with 25 million records. Do you think you go and check each and everything? You can do it manually, right? So it's very, very challenging ones. In that case, what we do is there is something called the fuzzy grouping option is available. I just click on this wheel. Look at fuzzy grouping option. If you select this one, what happens is, if you expand this, you see here, ignore case. Ignore case. In that case, what happens is, it will consider even this one also same as this one. So all these three records will get grouped together into a single category called technology, and then it applies the sum on this one. It will ignore the case and at the same time group by combining text part. Sometimes what will happen is not only case issue, there is some typo issue also. Instead of technology, you mentioned, for example, okay, in this case, right, everything is correct, but here the spelling mistake is there. So group by combining text. In that case, right, it uses something called uh, this one, fuzzy grouping. This is called your fuzzy grouping. So in that case, what happens is it uses something called Jaccard similarity algorithm. Jaccard, Jaccard, similarity algorithm. Okay. This algorithm, what it does is it measures the similarity between the pair of instances, and then it applies agglomerative hierarchical clustering. So you guys are already familiar with machine learning, right? So you know what is k-means clustering, agglomerative clustering. So what happens is it will apply some distance metric like Jacob similarity, and then it finds the distance between these. Okay, somehow the distance between these two are same. Hence, it will consider even if there is a typo, even in the case of case-related issue, it is taken care, but you need to specify the similarity threshold. If you specify the similarity threshold with a moderately lesser value like 0.76 or 0.74, what will happen is something like somewhat similar. Okay, so somewhat similar, then it is fine. But if you increase the threshold value, what will happen? Exactly like this. The technology, even this one should also be same as this one. Right? If you relax it by reducing the threshold value, so right. So what will happen is it will consider everything as the same thing, and then it will group it, and then if you click on OK, what will happen is it will consider even though there is a typo, it will consider this as part of this group. And next question is, one guy asked this very good question. So for example, we have something called IND. Okay, and we have another thing is like IND. For India, we have used 3 letters. For each country, we are using just 3 letters. USA. UK just used UK. Just 2 letter or 3 letters of a country we are using it. Okay, so in that case, for Indonesia, IND we are using it. For India also we are using IND. So this is not related with the data issue. This is related with the naming convention issue, right? So there is something called data governance team. If you look at the larger enterprises like Walmart and all the bigger, the giants, right? The retail giants, the Walmart, Target, Costco, all these guys already they have a data governance team in place. And if you want to use any name for the country column, they will validate it. So IND and IND. So this is India and Indonesia. In that case, what you do, you put India and Indonesia. They are the one will dictate what naming convention to be used for which value in which column. They are the one will do it. You don't have to worry about this. Is ultimately falls on the data governance team's responsibility. But if you have something like this, right? So we can address it with the help of fuzzy grouping logic. The fuzzy grouping. The fuzzy grouping is very much helpful. You see, you have millions and millions of records. You cannot go and check, where the inconsistency, the naming convention inconsistency, right? Data inconsistency. This is called data inconsistency. Here the name is same. Here also the same category, but the different name they've given. There is some inconsistency is there with respect to the naming convention for this category. So in that kind of situation, you can leverage the fuzzy grouping. Especially if the volume of data is very high, it will be good. But you might be asking this when it is using the distance metric like Jacob similarity algorithm, agglomerative hierarchical clustering. In that case, kind of situation, won't it slow down the performance? Yes. Right? There is a trade-off. Otherwise, your data will not be accurate, right? There could be chances, what will happen is this one will group together, this one will be grouped in a separate group. At the end of the day, if the management, they mistakenly, if they see only this one, they'll think only they sold 1,700 units. In that case, they will, they will misinterpret that we are underperforming on the technology. Actually, we are doing good because of this one. It got it. So in that kind of situation, better you can go for fuzzy grouping. It's an awesome feature, right? So that's all. Once you click on OK, that's it. Your thing is ready here. And fine. Now you understood how to work with the data flow group, right? This is called your data flow. Data flow. Look here, I just mentioned you. Okay, data flow. So ETL on cloud. Power. So data flow is nothing but the ETL, the Power Query Editor, the Power Query Editor on cloud. You can say. So in the interview, they'll ask you, what is the data flow? It is nothing but the Power Query Editor on cloud. Also, you can reuse this one. Let's say once you create this one, you can import it into a local Power BI desktop. Okay, look here. Here, what I do is here something causes from Discord. Okay. Oh, I use invoke functional, right? Some problem is there. So here, in the get data, you have an option called data flows, right? You just click on it. You can connect it to your cloud and then download that one. Okay, you can import it that one. You can reuse it. You can reuse the data flow also. So hope you understood what is group by and what is fuzzy grouping. Fuzzy grouping is possible only on the Power BI cloud service. And what else we discussed? We discussed about the aggregation, right? How to do the aggregation using Power BI desktop. We explored various options as part of aggregation. And also we discussed about the custom column and custom function, how to create a custom function and conditional column. We discussed, and then column from examples also we discussed in today's session. Okay. What I will do is it's already 11 o'clock. We will circle back day after tomorrow. Not day after tomorrow, sorry, next week. Yeah. What I will do is I will compensate the session which I cancel it, right? Sometime later point I'll compensate it. Don't worry. So this week you practice this one. This upcoming Monday, we will continue as usual. Okay, seamlessly, the session will go. Okay. Any questions so far?